Um, what is your tips for someone who says like, okay, I'm into structural engineering and I want to do some research. I want to get a PhD in this. What are your tips for those new? I mean, I wouldn't say newcomers. Someone who's an enthusiast in structural engineering.
Yeah, I would say like you have to be passionate about it to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think just like randomly that, oh yeah, I can do a PhD and I can just finish it, like say already put a timeline saying I want to finish it in 3 4 years, or do something very easy and still get a PhD, I wouldn't prefer for them to come here. But yes, like you said, if they are really interested and enthusiastic about it, they should already work towards it. There is so much ground study you should do actually for a PhD. So even before joining a position, you need to understand what the center or what the university is up to, what the department is up to, in which area they are focusing, or if there is like specific professor you're looking for, so you need to understand him as well. Like if you think he will encourage you towards your growth, or what is his priorities, or how he would want you to be associated with the university in the future, or we never know, is he flexible enough to make you choose your topics or work towards your area, your interests. All these matter a lot for PhD, because sometimes what happens is you end up in a PhD position which is not tough for people who study or like who want to study, like do research. So and then they realize at a later point that this is not my field. So this is a trouble for both the professor and the student, because both of them get a rapport developed, like and it would be difficult after spending 1 year on a student to come to another one and again start off. It's like a lot of work. So for the upcoming generations, I would say like whoever wants to get into PhD, first do the ground study and understand if that is your area of study
Mm-hmm.
or not, and understand the professor you're going to. That matters the most, and how he works and how he wants you to work. That's the key to success, like to finish the PhD, I would say.
And what I understand is like picking a professor is the most important aspect of the study. And is there any platforms? Is there any website that a person can go look into it? Like, and if, say someone from India or someone even from US, like if they're choosing to do studies in US or abroad, like is there any website that they can go to, or is there any kind of country that they can look into? Like I know mechanical engineering for them, like being in Germany is a pest, right? You
Yes.
have like all big names there. So
Mm-hmm.
is it a similar thing with the structural engineering too? Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, actually, this question is the most asked one for me. Like many ask about this. I would say, like, based on my personal experience, how I decided where I want to go is like I set the alignment. Like, I wanted structural engineering to start off. Then, when I went to masters, like I said, I was in Italy and I saw the PISA. Then I went into the soil a bit. So I thought, okay, geotechnical is my stream. Then I started looking for subjects and professors and universities which were towards that area.
And you
Then,
looked, did you look everywhere, or did you look US, or did you look Italy? Like how
no,
was that?
everywhere,
Oh,
everywhere.
okay, okay.
Even before Italy, I actually wanted to go to New Zealand. I almost
Okay.
got selected for the program, but the funding wasn't enough, like to support myself. So I decided to move to Italy. That was my second option,
Mm-hmm.
actually. But yeah, where I searched for these is like Google, to be frank. I mean, there was no specific website, but there is a website where you can search for the professors by itself. So we
Mm-hmm.
have something called Google Scholar profiles,
Mm-hmm.
ResearchGate profiles, all these which we use. And LinkedIn, of course, nowadays is like so famous. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I used to browse through the Google Scholar profiles. So whenever I used to go to a university, like say for example their website, first thing I do is go to the faculty section. I literally choose, okay, is geotechnical or structural? Okay, let me see what is his profile. One interesting thing, I would say for me, at least for me, was I also saw how social the professor was. Yeah, because that's something, I don't know if I have to make a comment, but there is a judgment that happens. If you're also social and if you're a PhD, they're like, how is she managing? Kind of question pops in, right? So only a professor who is in that angle can understand it. Like doing,
Got
like performing some hobby and studying together. So yeah, my another criteria was that. So it's basically matching your interest. He should understand what you want to do. Like when
Got
you
it.
he or she, I mean, whenever you get into some professor's life for like 5 years, which is not easy because they are going to spend most of the time with you.
Hmm.
So you need to really understand what their life is, how much importance they give to family as well, and what is their scope like for the future, what they want you to do. So yeah, this is pretty much what you should look for.
And
Of course, the
all
support
of
from university.
all of these will be listed in the professor's profile.
No. So in professors' profiles like Google Scholar and all this, it's purely technical stuff. Like
Hmm.
what was his education in, where he did his bachelor's, master's, PhD, and or whatever. Apart from that, where were his certifications? What were his projects? What are his interests, like research interests? All this. But we have social media. We just search,
Yeah.
we get their profiles, and we see what they are up to as well. But most of the cases, what I saw is based on reference. Like you get a PhD based on reference. So
Mhm.
you go to a professor, like say I was working with one of the professors in Italy, he referred me here. And then he referred me elsewhere. And then again, I searched for someone else. So it was like based on references most of the time.
Okay. To my understanding, then it's reference and stalk the professor pretty well.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I have to say stalk because they will start stalking me. I'm scared of that. I already get, you know what? Recently, I was working with some of the students from undergrad level. Okay. So I saw they got a message. My number, my phone number, my name, everything is listed. They were saying, okay, can you meet in the lab now? I was not even in the lab. They were like, I was like, oh my God, this is too much. So, there
Yeah.
is
I
some
mean,
kind of, yeah,
cool.
you need to be safe too. But yeah, I wouldn't say stalk so easily because I don't want to fall into that category. But yeah, you need to understand
Got
what
it.
you.
Got it. Got it.